to my universe. Unfortunately, severe allergies has made me completely lose my voice. Like, I cannot talk at all. If I try to make sound, it either doesn't come out or I sound vaguely like a dying animal. So, the most I can do is whisper like this. And that's about it. But I figured that I would try to stream I would just whisper and draw as well as I can. So, this is the best I can do for now. So, this week, I think I'm just going to do art streams. Whenever I'm feeling up to it, whenever I think my voice can handle it. And I tried to commentate over something like Dead Cells would just absolutely wreck me. So this week is just gonna be art streams and probably just whispering for a while. Let me know if you can hear me. I turned down the music really, really low. So I hope you guys can still hear me like this, and I had to turn off a bunch of my noise suppression, so you might hear some clicking against my tablet. But I'm doing my best. Always doing my best. But I figured that I'd at least give it a shot. So that this way I wouldn't go, potentially long periods of time with no streams at all. And I don't know what I'm going to be feeling up to streaming, but, if this is fine, I'll check what it all sounds like after stream today. Then maybe I'll be okay. Maybe I'll be able to stream a little bit. But yeah, streams are going to be probably a bit shorter this week too. Just because, unfortunately, my voice is just completely gone. Like, it is not here. I cannot bring sound out of it. This is the most noise I can make. It's quite unfortunate. But I still wanted to come and say hi and do something. So here I am. Hello. Plus, I really want to draw some stuff. I've been sleeping a lot, so I haven't really had time to do a bunch of the stuff that I consider fun. So I really, really missed working on this. Even if I am just going slightly crazy, drawing flowers for all eternity, I still missed working on it a lot. I really, really do like working on it. Drawing is just so much fun, and I miss it so much. But it's taken like all I have just to keep up with a lot of the other stuff I have to do, like Japanese lessons and stuff like that. So I haven't had time to work on a lot of the things that I want to work on. I haven't really been writing my comic as much as I would like either, and various things like that. It's just all very unfortunate. Fortunately, I do not think I'm actually, sick or anything. I think this is just very, very severe allergies. It's been raining a lot lately, which is unusual for where I live, so the plants have been very happy, and that is unfortunately making my allergies very unhappy. They are just freaking out like you wouldn't believe. It's terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible, and I wish my body would stop freaking out over nothing. Pollen ain't gonna hurt me, it's fine. Don't worry about it, body. But here we are. Bodies are gonna do what bodies are gonna do, and I just gotta work around it. I hate it, man. Hate it so much. Life is hard. But but it hasn't rained for a couple of days, so I'm hoping that the worst of it is past, and I'll gradually start getting my voice back. And then I'll be able to talk like a normal person again, instead of just whispering like this. So I don't know how long my throat will hold out, but I'll do my best, and I'll go for as long as I can. In the meantime, I'm still just going over flowers, getting all the edges nice, because that's where I left off last time, just drawing all the flowers I did, and I realized between when I was working last time and finishing this time that I don't think I'd like my border being quite so bottom heavy. So I want to do a thing where I'm gonna draw it symmetrically like this, but at the end I'm gonna transform half of it on the y-axis, mirror it vertically, basically, and see how that looks. And that does mean I'm probably gonna have to make a few changes here and there. But that's okay, I can make as many changes as I like until I get it looking the way that I like. That's the nice thing about art. And when you're going through and just creating your own universe here, is that it can be exactly the way you want it to be. Exactly the way you want it to be. The only thing limiting you is how much time and effort you're willing to put in. But if you're willing to go through and try things, eventually, you'll get it the way you want it to be, and everything will just be perfect, and it'll be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So don't give up. Just keep trying things, and if something feels off, if you feel it in the depths of your heart, it probably is a little bit off, and you should try a few variations and see what happens. What's a nice thing about digital too, is you can try all of these variations, all of the variations you can think of, without messing up the original thing that you drew. And so you can try a few things, and if you don't like them as much, you can just revert back to the original, and it is great. It is wonderful. I like digital art a lot. It's very free. You can just go. Alright, so I got another little bud here. This one is just starting to bloom. Look at him go. Just doing his best to get out of that little bud. So I'll go ahead and just refine those outer edges. And we'll see what happens there. I think it looks pretty good. Gonna make this bud look just a little bit smaller and tighter. So this way you can really see the flowers just expanding out from it. Make it look like that bud is just way too small for all these little blossoms now. And they just want to spread out and go do their thing. This one's not quite as ready to get out yet. So he's gonna just kinda hang out inside the little bud. This one still has some growing to do. I will put a little shadow in here though, since I have the colors inverted. Normally all these flowers are pink, but I have the colors inverted right now. So that means that the darker color will actually be the lighter color when I invert the colors again. So my shadows will actually be this lighter green. So it makes sense to some extent. There we go, just smoothing out the edges a little bit more. I think all is well here. Gotta go ahead and put in the last few details And then I think this bunch of flowers is gonna be all good. Just like that. Man, it feels weird to be whispering like this. I cannot put any energy into my voice. And it feels so unfortunate. Allergies are the worst, man. God reminds me that I have a doctor's appointment today for something completely unrelated to all of this. And right now I'm just like, why are bodies so bad at working? Why can they not do the one thing that they're supposed to do? It's so silly, isn't it? Bodies are the worst. I'd fire mine for being utterly incompetent if I could, but unfortunately I'm kind of stuck with it. I can't just get a new one. I can't just replace it. I look forward to the day when we can all have robot bodies, and we can finally fire our bodies for being utterly incompetent. That will be a great day. Truly. Alright, on to the next group of flowers here. On to the next group of flowers. So this one is kind of starting to come out, but not really yet. This one is still very shy. Wants to hide in the bud for a little while longer. So we'll just let him retreat in for just a little while longer. It's okay, I'll come out when he's ready. He'll come out when he's ready. We're not gonna rush him. Not gonna rush this little guy. So this one's already come out, but he's very small. But that's okay. The small ones are important too. Doesn't matter how big or small each flower is, they all serve an important purpose on decorating this lovely little branch. I'd actually go as far as to say that the small ones make a very big difference in how full and beautiful these branches of flowers look. They may not be as visible as the large ones, but they still do a lot. They still work hard. And they still make the branch extra beautiful. It would work as well if they were all very large and vying for all the attention. The small ones just add that little bit of subtle beauty to things. They're wonderful. Look, I'm getting down to the point where I've already refined some. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Oh man. But there's so many flowers left. There's so many flowers left. Wait a moment, I got a cough. I'm really looking forward to getting my basic outlines here done. And then I could go and start putting the lines in. And then I think once I have the lines in, I can really make this border sing. Just sing. It's the best way I can put it. Like, I remember the way I tend to draw things with a lot of extreme lighting is I draw it normally first, as though I was just doing some basic lighting. And then I go back in at the end and add a bunch of my more extreme lighting. And I always describe going back in and adding all of my pretty lighting to be making the picture sing. Because I can hear it. I can hear the picture sing when I get it right. There's just a certain resonance in the air that I can feel in my heart when I finally get it right. And I'm like, oh yes, the picture is singing now. This is exactly how it should look. And I really look forward to doing that with my picture here. Just get it to sing. But I can feel it in the depths of my heart. I've already gotten a little bit of singing out of it when I was getting the pose and everything else right. But there's nothing that makes things sing quite like lighting to me. I think that's why I really, really like playing with lighting. I think that's why it's my favorite thing. And no matter what, I will never get sick of drawing light. And I think it's also responsible for my style in general and my process. Because I found that it was a lot easier for me to draw light than it was for me to draw lines. So I just drew light and shapes. Because those I can see. I can see light and shapes, but I can't see lines. And that's just the way it's always been for me. Just one of those kind of funny things. Alright, got another little bud in there. He'll bloom someday, but right now, they're just not quite ready. That's okay. Everything will be there for when they are. Just have everything drawn nicely. So this way they can bloom beautifully when the time is right. And they're ready to poke their head out and greet the world. It's okay, I can understand being a little bit shy. I'm sure they'll open up to everyone eventually. Alright, now I gotta redraw this flower that I erased a little. But it's okay, I kinda had to do it in order to get the shape of this one right. I'm probably gonna have to mess up the shape of this big one right now in order to get the shape of the one under it right. But that's okay because I can go back in and fix it. So we say the center's probably here, so I think this one... Okay, no, it is gonna stay completely underneath. So I don't have to draw over it quite so much. I can just kind of leave it like this. There we go. So now I just got this little bud over here. He can be our buddy. And I just gotta perfect his shape. This is another one that's just starting to come out. So I want to make it look like the base of the bud here is just getting too small for it to contain this lovely flower. And thus the flower just must escape in order to do what it wants to do. It's got to break out and embrace the world, so that this way it can be the type of flower that it wants to be. I always like to tell cute little stories for the things that I'm drawing. It makes them easier to draw. It unironically makes things look better. Because I do see visual art as a method of storytelling, more or less. So I like trying to convey all these little flower story as best I can. They're small stories, but stories nonetheless. So I do my best for them. And I think that the best pictures are the ones with a clear story to tell. Those are just the ones that always look the best to me. The ones that really make you feel something, you know. So I try to do the same with mine, even if I am just trying to draw a cute girl like I am here. Even if it's just a simple story about a girl spinning with a fan, it's still a story. Just a simple one, and a short one. But it's okay, the stories don't have to be complicated in order to be good. Right, now I guess I gotta get this little flower underneath here. He's gonna show up in this area. It's a little, I don't know, slit in the blossom there. It's gonna show a little bit of the darker flower underneath. Man, just looking at this, I am so looking forward to putting all the lines and shading on this. I think it's gonna look great. Also looking forward to the day that I no longer have to keep this in green and I could leave it in pink. But I think that day is a little ways off. It'll be a little while before I can do that. But it's okay, I'll be ready for when that day comes. And I am looking forward to it so much. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. Right, on to the next group of flowers, it looks like. So that'll be these guys right here. Actually, I think I'm gonna get these little buds first. Just all these little guys down here before I continue down the branch. Yeah, that seems nice. Just go ahead and get all these little buds. This one hasn't started coming out yet. So I'll draw a few little lines here to kind of show where the blossoms will come out when the time is right. But this one hasn't started blooming at all yet. This guy's still hiding. He's not ready yet. So he's just gonna hide inside. But it's okay. We'll look forward to the day when he is ready. You can't rush these things. Can't rush these things. Doesn't matter if there's a lot of flowers that aren't ready. That doesn't mean this guy has to be. He can take his time. Same with this one. This one's even bigger, but he's still not quite ready. This one, I see the way I drew it. This one's a little bit smaller than this one, but this one is just starting to come out. See? It's been there this whole time. And it's been drawn this way the whole time. I just have to make it happen. Get those final little touches in to make it clear what's happening here. And then we got a nice little flower just starting to come out. Let's see, do I want to do this one now? Nah, I'll go do this one. I think I want to go down the branch. And all I'm really caring about here is the outer edge, because what I want to do is basically to lock this layer so I can't color outside the lines, and then start putting in all my details. So right now, I'm just concerned with the outer edge. And here, I need to cough again. There we go. So basically, I'm only concerning myself with the shape of the flowers right now. Later, I'm going to go back in and add in all the details. And all I'm trying to do now is get them into a state where I can lock the layer and make everything look nice afterward. So for the time being, I only care about the outer edge, to an extent, making sure that no holes like this exist. So I'm going to fill that in. And for me, that's basically the first stage of my rendering process, where I don't necessarily care about what's going on in the interior. But the outer edge is perfect, just the way I want it. It makes my life less complicated. And you know me, I always do my best to make my life as uncomplicated as humanly possible. Alright, I think before I go in and do the little slits in the blossoms, I've got to go get this big one. And some of the little ones around it. So my throat isn't holding up too well, so I'm not sure how long I'll be able to go, but I am pretty determined to finish the outer edge of all these flowers today. So I think once I have that, I'll stop after that. But I am really, really looking forward to being able to make these flowers look just wonderful. I am looking forward to that so much. So I'd like to finish my first step today. And honestly, even though I can't talk, I'm still glad that I decided to come on stream today. Because I'm having a great time and I really, really miss drawing stuff. I've been wanting to work on this for like several days now. But I was worried because I have no voice. But I'm glad I decided to come anyway. Not let my body get in the way of art. Oh yeah, look how much nicer that looks now. Just a much fuller flower. And you can see, even though I'm mostly concerned about the exterior, I am putting some shadows in some spots in the interior. Just to help me see where everything is gonna go once this is all done. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not. If it helps me, I put it down. If it doesn't, I don't worry about it. That's how I see these things. And you can see that I am still getting this part pretty smooth, even though there's another flower underneath it here. And that's because I do want to make sure that the separate flowers are very much separated from each other. And I can clearly tell when one flower begins and when another flower ends. I consider that important in this phase too. So that this way when I go and start trying to do all of my lines and stuff, it'll be really easy to tell which flower is which. And I know where to put all of my lines. So I'm not ignoring the interior, but it's not as important right now. I'm just kind of trying to do the minimum amount. I like to work in phases. And right now this phase is just okay. What are these flowers shaped like? How should they be drawn? Where do they begin? Where do they end? And how do their outer edges look? That is the purpose of the current phase that I am in. So it's okay if things are a little bit messy. Or rather, I should say, it's not okay if they're a bit messy. I'm trying to get things neat now. But it is okay if they're, like, unfinished. So by the time this is finished, there's probably going to be some lines showing, like, where the flowers, the petals of the flowers overlap. But I'm just not doing that yet. I'm gonna do that in a later phase. Because I find it easier than trying to do everything all at once. If I try to do everything all at once, I tend to get a little bit overwhelmed. And I'm trying to avoid that here. I don't want to get overwhelmed. I want to keep things as simple as I can. And I actually get the feeling that all these flowers are going to need a couple more colors in order for me to portray them the way that I want. So at some point I'm going to have to go in and add a few more colors. And then when I look at my cherry blossom references, I also see that they have stamens. So there's going to be like little lines coming out like this. And they have little like round things on top, like that. But I'm not drawing those yet either. Those details, they're not important yet. What I'm concerning myself with is the overall structure of all these flowers. And the details, they'll come later. Once everything else is ready, just like with the buds. Once the time is right, they'll get drawn. No need to rush things. The time will be right before you know it. The time will be right before you know it. So you just gotta wait for it. You don't gotta rush it, not at all. And if you just let these things be, it'll come up that much more beautifully. Because you'll know where you should put everything, where those details should live. It'll be so much easier to see where they should live. Once you know the structure of everything around them. There we go. Look, I'm almost to the bottom. So it's looking like I might be able to make my goal here. That'll be very nice. Alright, let's go ahead and add some of these details now. Get the little slit in there. I always like to do this at the end, it's just easier to do. Try to account for it early on. Gotta make sure I don't miss any. Can't let anyone be feeling left out here. Oops. Wrong color. There we go. Oh man, all these little flowers are just looking so cute, don't you think? I love them. They're so nice. They say we just have a couple of like little loose ones there. That's fine. They're doing just fine there. Alright, here's another one where I'm gonna have to send this part to fill in some of the hole. So I gotta do a little bit more drawing afterward. That's no big deal, I can go back and do that. It's just fine. Alright. Now let's do some of the little flowers over here. I'll get this guy in just a sec. I got all the ones up there. So now let's do some of these little guys. I can see I wanted a few flowers to be overlapping here. Which makes sense. Having some overlapping flowers like this does make it look a little bit more dense. Okay, we got a little bud right there. This one I'll draw as a bud and not just like a little tiny thing like this. Like this guy's just gonna kind of stay like this. No further detail necessary, I think. But this guy I'm gonna turn into a very, very tight bud. Like that. Alright. This guy I'm not quite satisfied with the shape with. So let's go ahead and make him look a little bit nicer. Everything's gotta look nice at this stage, because I am approaching the end. So anything that I leave unfinished will be unfinished forever. Can't mess around anymore. Just gotta keep going until everything is perfect. Okay. Oh man, I can see the ends. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Okay, and I think what I have here is I have a proper blossom. I can see its petals. And then I have a bud on top of it. So I'll go ahead and draw the flower proper. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a shadow underneath here. And then I'm going to go put another shadow underneath where the bud is. And we'll let this bud be fairly tight. This one's not ready to bloom yet. It's just gonna stay like this. There we go. Now this one on the other hand, this one looks like it's getting ready to bloom. So I'll go ahead and draw it like that. I'll get the bottom nice and tight. Just so this way it looks like the petals will be bursting out of it, because I think that looks lovely. I really like the way that looks. Or it just looks like the bud can no longer contain the petals at all. I don't know if it's realistic, but I think it makes for a nice story. And it makes me happy. So I'm gonna draw it like that. So just gonna try to bring those out a little. Okay, how do I want to draw the dark spot here? Then we have that petal here, and this petal will be in front too. So I'll draw it like this. Yeah. Then we have this one further back, and this one further back. There we go. I think that'll look nice once I kind of smooth that out. Once again, I'm really only concerned with the exterior for the moment. So any stuff I do in the interior is just to help me picture the exterior. So I think that's enough for now. There we go. Alright. We're at the base. Almost there. And then next time I feel up to streaming, I could work on the lines and starting to bring out each petal, as opposed to just each flower. That'll be the next stage. And I am very much looking forward to it. I think this is gonna look gorgeous once I finally get through it all. It's just gonna take some time. It's just gonna take some time. Unfortunately, I have always been a bit of a slow artist. So it takes me a while to finish something. But I think once I do finish it, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I've gotten all those flowers looking pretty good. I want to clean up this tip just a little bit. But otherwise, I think things are looking alright. And I still want to make sure that each flower is very clearly separated. This way I know where one begins and one ends. This one is getting a little bit bigger because I have arbitrarily decided it looks better that way. I don't think it bites too much. If it has any complaints, I will listen to them, but I may or may not regard them, because after all, this is my universe, and I get to do what I want, no matter what that means. So there, that line. I wanted to make it clear which one is in front and which one is in back. I'm gonna do another one here, because I want to know that this one is on top of this one. That's the information that's important at this stage. This is how I do my caveman perspective, where, rather than proper grids and all that, I just go, okay, this one on top of this one. Easy to understand. But sometimes I don't need to do any more than that. But I'd say, if you're struggling with perspective, that's the first thing to learn. Have things on top of other things, and that'll show distance. That'll show that something is on top of something else. And that'll make the thing that's behind recede further into the background. And it's very useful to show some very, very simple perspective. And I think it's very easy to incorporate into your drawings. Like, one thing I plan to do, when I work a little bit more on her fan, for example, is I want to make sure that her fan is overlapping her hat just a little bit. So that this way it becomes clear that the fan is in front of the hat. Personally, I think the fact that the fan is so much larger than the hat and that her hand is going forward to us via some other perspective tricks is still making that clear. But there's more I can do. Hello there, Art. How are you doing today? Can you hear me? Unfortunately, I completely lost my voice, unfortunately. It is, like, gone. I cannot make proper noise. Thus, I have to whisper. It's the best I can do. If I try to talk normally, no sound comes out. But I want to try to stream anyway. Because I want to draw. I really, really want to draw. So here I am, doing my best. I'm just gonna finish up the bud of the flowers here. So I've got another little bud. And I want to make sure that it's clear that the bud is on top of this flower. So I'm gonna draw a little line there, just to make it clear that this guy is on top. Alright, now we can do the details for this group. Just put in that little slit. I have been having some really severe allergies, so my throat just got completely blocked off. It's quite sore, but it doesn't feel too bad when I talk like this, so it's all good. It's all good. We'll see how up to streaming I am this week, but I don't know, I'm having a good time. So I get the feeling I might still come a few more days. But I think this week is just gonna be art. At least until my voice comes back. Yes, I did leave an announcement. If I'm gonna have extended absences like that, I'll always leave an announcement in the community tab. It does that sometimes. Don't worry about it. Okay, and then I think this one needs a little bit. And I'll just go ahead and redraw the bud on top of it. Yes, I know, that's why said don't worry about it. It happens sometimes. So yeah, I think the only ones left are just the guys on this branch here. So yeah, almost there. Almost there. Oh man, I am so excited to be able to render this fully. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun to get the rest of this. I think that's fine for those guys. So I got a little tiny flower right here, I see. Just a little guy. But as I said earlier, the little guys are very important too. And I can see that this guy is a little bud that's just starting to bloom. So I'll leave him just like that. And this is a little bud that has not started to come out yet. There's a little base there. So I'll draw the indication of just a couple of petals. And here's another little guy that's just starting to come out of his bud. Just starting to come out. And it looks like this is another one that's just started to come out, but barely. This one is, like, just starting to bloom. So he's not tight in his bud yet, he's just starting to come out. And this was just a little one on its side. There we go. But all the ones down here are just little guys. It's okay, the little guys decorating it just make it look that much fuller. The little guys are important too. Always. Gotta get every single one of them and give each one the attention that it needs. Alright, then we have a fairly large bud here. I kinda like the little dent I put in it, so I'll keep it. Just do it like this. No, my kids are upstairs, playing. They could if they want, but they generally don't. Honestly, they're pretty young, so I'm not sure if they have the attention span to watch me draw. I think they'd get bored pretty quickly. Okay, and I think I want I changed my mind. I think I want the flower to be on top. So I'll go ahead and draw the parts that overlap there. Alright. And now I think it's time for some of the final details. So I just put in the little slits here. Just little tiny ones. I don't want to overdo it since these ones are so small. They're already very, very tiny. Take a look, make sure I didn't miss anything. But no, I think everything is looking pretty good. Just gotta give it a good look over, make sure I don't want to change anything. This one looks a little bit messy. So I'm gonna touch this one up. Am I talking too quietly? I can't really talk any louder than this, unfortunately. Or is the music too loud? Because I can adjust these things if need be. I did a little bit of a sound test beforehand, but there's only so much I can do. Same. I do hope my voice comes back quickly. Alright. I guess this is okay. Let me see. No, this really isn't okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I can still fix it in pink. But there's a flower underneath here that I think should just be dark. Yeah, if there's anything I can do to make my volume better, let me know. Let me know if the music is too loud, or if I need to make my voice louder. But unfortunately, I can only talk in whispers right now. It is all I can do. Because my voice is unfortunately completely gone. And it's very sad. And it makes me very sad. But I really wanted to come draw today, so I figured I'd give it a try like this. I just don't like the way this petal looks, so I'm gonna redraw this one. I would just redraw that one. There we go. That looks a little better. Okay, now we just gotta keep going down. Yeah, let's see, I think I want to make it clear to me that this blossom is on top. So I'm gonna put a little shadow here. I'm not sure what you mean. But regardless. No, because I want to. I figure it'd be fine if I, only went live like 4 or 5 days a week, but I like coming daily. So I do. I like doing this. I think it's fun. Yep, I was 1 year in May. So it's been 1 year and almost 2 months. Yep, pretty much every day. I think in that year I've missed less than 5 days. Or no, not less than 5 at this point, less than 10. So yes, I do come every day. I think that is first pass of flowers done. Heck yeah. I now have their outline basically determined. So now when I go on and add my white outlines here, I should have an easier time. So I have the flowers cleanly separated from each other. So now I want to do the same thing with the petals and stuff, and then I can decide which areas are going to be light and which ones are going to be dark and finalize all my colors and all those nice things. So yeah, that'll be what I do next time. I think my throat's about hit its limit, so I do think I have to stop here for today, but hopefully in the next couple of days I'll feel better and I can talk again. Won't that be great? But yes, this is where I'll stop here for today, so thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.